Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, welcome to our presentation. Let me introduce ourselves. My name Winona Safira and my last SURI number is 77. And my friends Muhammad Fawas Abian and his last SURI number is 75. Today, on this occasion, we will present about bullying and its impact on someone's life. So, we are going to the first slide. Okay, the first slide tells about definition of bullying. Bullying is derived from the word bully, which is a word that refers to the notion of the threat that a person against another person, which cause psychological disorder for the victims in the form of stress, which appears in the form of physical or psychological disorder, or both. For example, difficulty eating, physical pain, fear, low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, and others. Okay, the next slide tells about types of bullying. There are five types of bullying. The first is physical bullying. Physical bullying is the most obvious form of bullying. It occurs when punching, kicking, and other physical attacks uh, are all types of physical bullying. As a result, it is most likely what people think of when they think of bullying, and the effect of physical bullying can be easier to spot. And the second is verbal bullying. Verbal bullying is often very difficult to identify because attacks almost always occurs when adults around are not around. As a result, it is often one person's word against another's. Words are powerful when it comes to bullying. Sometimes verbal bullying can result in a deeper wounds long term than physical bullying. Additionally, many can result many adults feels that sting side don't impact others significantly. As a result, they usually mm, tell the victims of bullying to ignore it. But verbal bullying should be taken seriously. And the third is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying using digital technology. This can happen on social media, chat platforms, gaming, and mobile phones. Bullies can come to them anytime and anywhere, often in the safety of their own homes. As a result, the consequences of cyberbullying are significant. The next is sexual bullying. Sexual bullying consists of repeated, harmful, and humiliating action that target a person sexual. Bullies may use technology to harass someone sexual, like sending inappropriate text message, picture, or video. Adults sometimes sexual harass young people. But most of the time, when sexual harassment happens to teens, it's being done by people in the same age group. And the last tips of bullying is prejudicial bullying. Preju- Prejudicial bullying is based on prejudice twins and teens have toward people of different race, religion, or sexual orientation. Oftentimes, this type of bullying is severe and can open the door to hate crimes. Anytime a child is bullied for his sexual orientation, race, or religion, it should be reported. The next slide tells about causes of bullying. There are four causes of bullying. The first, lack of attention, family problems, psychological factors from parents, and last, violence skins from several media. Okay, I will explain cause of bullying one by one. Lack of attention, it means lack of parental involvement. Children make children capture or seek attention from others, and it causes children to want to be noticed even though they have to commit violence. The second, family problems. The frequent quarrel between father and mother in front of the child, and the parents who often scold their children cause the child to become emotionally and aggressive. And the third, psychological factors from parents. It means um, parents must be also be good roles model for their children, so that you don't want to make the mistake of educating their children, which will actually cause them to bully. Parents who have pure mental and have a great potential for bullying. And the last, violent skins from several media. Various media such as games, television, and films often present broadcasts of war and violence. Therefore, parents must accompany and supervise their children when playing games or watching movies, and don't forget to warn parents not to imitate skins related to violence, because children tend to imitate what they watch and play. Okay, the next presentation will be delivered by Muhammad Fawaz Abian. Okay, thank you.
So now I would like to explain about the impact of bullying. In fact, there are long-term as well as short-term impacts on the victims. The following are some of the side effects of bullying that can occur are as follows. In the long term, the impact of bullying can cause children to misinterpret their own self-image. Our children have a negative self-concept and become inferior. Children will become individuals who tend to close themselves off from the outside environment and social interactions. Or maybe even children will change direction and become bullies. But this does not all happen to victims of bullying. The worst result is that the child becomes severely depressed and eventually commits suicide attempt. So that this does not happen, that is the important role of psychologists in the child bullying. So don't hesitate to bring your child to meet the expert. The example of long-term depression: low self-confidence or inferiority complex, shy and aloof, decreased academic achievement, feeling isolated in relationship, the thought of or even trying to commit suicide. Then, the first short-term impact of bullying that victim will feel is shock. This condition is usually accompanied by fear and insecurity. To come to a place where bullying occurs and tend to avoid the place. In addition, because bullying is not only in the form of verbal abuse, but also physical violence. Children might suffer physical injuries. Some of these injuries can be mild to severe. Meanwhile, because of the traumatic feelings experienced by the child, he will also look anxious when he passes or interacts with the perpetrator. The example of short-term depression, shock, physical injury if exposed to physical bullying, fear and insecure, shy away from the crowd, and anxious when having to pass or interact with the perpetrator. And then, what is the solution of bullying? This is a serious problem that needs to be addressed as it can have long-term repercussions for both the victims and the perpetrator. Here are some steps you can take to overcome it. Persuasive approach, personal, through friends. It's like peer coaching. And then, enforcement of appropriate rules or sections or discipline is more emphasized on the enforcement of humanist section and community service or student service. And then, communication and interact between perpetrator and victims as well as parents. Then, media exposure that emphasize the emergence of negative effects of bullying so that it becomes a lesson for all parties not to commit similar acts. Then, how to deal with bullying? You have to tell a trusted adult. Tell parents and teachers who have the authority to act on it. Ignore bullies and stay away. As mentioned earlier, a bully will feel good about getting the reaction he wants. Then, increase courage and self-confidence. Show the environment that you are not weak and easy to bully. Then, talk to the perpetrator. Show that what the perpetrator is not good thing and is even dangerous. And the last, help a friend who is a victim. If you witness bullying, don't just stand still and try to support victims. So, this is the last session of our presentation. If you have a question, you may ask in the comment below. Thanks for your attention.